time to see who all shows up. I'll change those camera angles just a smidge. There we go. That's better. We're going to wait and see who shows up. It takes a minute sometimes. But tonight we're going to be talking about keeping your priorities in order, guys. Priorities are a big deal. They really, really are. And not enough people pay attention to them. So we're going to talk to about those tonight. What's up, Sean? How you doing, man? First one in, first to like. Welcome in, guys. Sorry, it's the middle of the month. I'm going to wait until my Chicken Explorer. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Ooh, wait, I know what I goofed up on. All right, there's all messages now. So what's up, everybody? I forgot to select all messages. I do that all the time. But everybody, welcome in. We're going to go on ahead and get started since we have so many new people here. Tonight, we're going to be talking about keeping your priorities, guys. In case you're new here, I spend about 25 to 30 minutes talking about a subject. And then you guys and us have a hangout, okay? So here we go. Hey, my Jin. What's up, chicken? My mom should be in here soon, but hopefully. But anyway, guys, thank you all for showing up. Here we go. Let's get into the discussion, shall we? So as it goes along, most people do not. Hi, Mr. Vince. Most people do not keep their priorities in order. Guys, a lot of times you have to Chuck, get away from the tripod. But no. You need a potty? Really? He tells me now. What's up, BMC? All right, guys, give me just a moment to walk my dog, and I'll be right back. Stay shut. Let me go put my Come on, Chuck. Time for you to get some exercise. All right, guys, sorry about that. I went on ahead and put him out in the backyard, so he'll have plenty of time to relax and have some fun and get a lot of exercise. So let's go ahead and raise this up, shall we? Let's raise this up just a little bit. All right, guys, so now I can see y'all better and y'all can see me. What's going on? Doing air, just got home from church. Oh, nice. Guys, church or any kind of faith is a wonderful thing. That is a priority, guys. If you're devout in your faith, keep your priorities straight and make sure that you follow your faith's guidelines. Guys, actually, I'm tired, so I'm going to sit. No offense. I have been working all day. I fixed a truck after doing all the blacksmithing. I'm tired. So that's what I'm getting at with the priorities, guys. 26 days until surgery. Okay, Zen. We'll keep praying for you, man. What's up, Gabe? I'm a pagan. So I do believe in the Christianic God. I do believe in Jesus Christ. I just don't believe he's my God. You understand? So, yeah, that's why I welcome in all faiths. But anyway, guys, so keeping your priorities in order, guys. If you've got bills to pay, you need to pay those before you play. Guys. At Jen Holder 976, go check that out. But you always want to be able to keep those priorities in order. All right, guys, because you got bills to pay, you got to pay before you play. If you ain't got bills to pay, then make sure you save up money. You want to be able to actually save for a nest egg, guys, to where when you do get out on your own and you do have bills, you'll never get behind. Guys, there are several things that we as a people here in America especially take for granted, which one of those things is saving money and being able to be self-reliant and independent. And the only way to do that is to be able to get your priorities straight. I'm sorry you missed my other live, man, but there'll be more. We'll be forging again tomorrow. Because those people are moderators. But anyway, so as we go along, guys, you've got these situations where you've got young folks nowadays that they prioritize stuff they want and stuff they don't have to have over things that are rather important. Like my mother was telling me a story today, and there is a young lady she was dealing with that is not getting anything together. She is actually causing a lot of excuses. She's taking her time trying to do everything. She's not paying for the proper things. Claims her car got stolen, is making excuses all over the place. Guys, this woman doesn't have her priorities straight. When you got situations where you got people like me who are trying to take and look at, okay, if I do this, how's it going to affect my future? If I pay for this, what can I pay for later on that I need? So you always got to take these things into consideration. Guys, it's the same thing with speech. If you're going to talk, make sure that what you say is not going to cause more problems for you. So if you don't prioritize your work, guys, if you don't put the most important things first, then you're going to miss out on something. And you're going to miss out on something important, and that usually it'll end up being a bill. Guys, I've seen a lot of people that have actually taken and, prioritize play over pay. And that's wrong, guys. I'm telling you right now, that will lead to disaster. Save your money. Guys, go play every now and then. Splurge on yourself about once a month or so, guys. But don't make it every weekend. Don't make it every single day. You don't need to drink every day. You don't need to, you don't need to always have a cigarette in your hand. You don't need to always, be the center of attention. You don't need to always splurge. Guys, shopping is not a necessity. Shopping is a luxury. So take that into consideration every time you go to purchase something. Anytime you go to do anything in your life, make sure it's a priority, guys, and save your small priorities for the end of the month. If you don't get to them, you can always get to them next month. I chose this month to prioritize some of the stuff for my business and my show. And next month, I'm going to prioritize my RV. So next month, we won't have probably as much awesome things going on. But we're going to try. We're at least going to still be able to get the tanks for the forge set up. Because we're only going to be able to forge for as long as we can out of them tanks. And then we got to wait until the next month. But you accidentally spilled some water. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, guys, prioritize your needs, prioritize your dreams, and then prioritize your wants. Okay, guys, needs, dreams, wants, in that order. Guys, and there's something called a 70 or a 50, 20, 30 rule. Put $50 aside for needs, put $30 aside for necessities, and then put $20 aside for wants out of 100. Hold on a second, guys. I got to knock at the door. Yep. Outside. In the backyard. Oh. So do you need me to get shut? All right. Dad. Sorry about that, everybody. Now my dad's dogs had to go for a walk. So thank you, Envy, for showing up. But anyway, back to where we were. So prioritizing. You know, guys, you always, you know, whenever it comes down to anything you do, you have priorities. You know, if you're fishing, one of your first priorities you need is a pole, hook, and tackle. The second you need is bait. The third you need is a way to get there. You know, so if you're going to be fishing, you got priorities. You know, if you're hunting, you got priorities. If you're shopping for groceries, you have priorities, guys. You want to get your proteins and your hearty foods that are going to stick on your gut for a while, you know, and that's what you want to get first before you get your snacks and your monsters and your coffee and all that stuff. You want to get what you need. You always need to get what you need first, you know, and when you do that, you actually set yourself up for success instead of failure, guys, because last thing I want to see any of my viewers have is a failure. All right, guys, because you know what? It doesn't even matter if you fail. You can still get back up. You can still try again. It's just this time you know how to prioritize right. You know, you might change where you purchase something. You might shop around a little bit more. You know, guys, for instance, here's a great example. Right now, my RV needs some repair. Not a lot. So I prioritized this month to figure out what all I needed to repair, you know, to be able to move it so I can have my own property and a place to put it. So, guys, I've been working on that. You know, that's the most important thing. The second priority is my business. You know, guys, trying to set up Exterior Outfitters. You know, that's definitely something that I want to do. So, and it's also a priority on my list because I want to be off a disability. And there's no reason why I can't hold down a job. You guys have seen me forge, you know, but the state of Texas says that with epilepsy, can't do it. And that part drives me nuts. You know, guys, I don't understand why just because I have epilepsy, I can't get a job. But I told them, kiss my butt, I'm going to make a job. So that's what I did. You know, and I am prioritizing my job and my RV over everything else, guys. You know, until that is done, then I'll focus on something else. You know, the only other thing I got to do is save up money to be able to go but save up money to be able to go meet my Jin later on. You know, hopefully next year. You know, so that's going to be hi, and what kind of epilepsy do you have? I have onset mental, or let's see, what was it he said? Onset, it's not onset juvenile, it's onset, what's the word for adult? Quit. I'm trying to do my show, baby. I'm trying to think, and you're bugging me. Basically, I have epilepsy caused by brain damage. And it didn't form until I got older. You know, I didn't realize what it was when I was younger. It was just small tremors here and there. But it got worse as I got older. But, you know, we're definitely... I know Penguin. I just forgot the name. It's in all my paperwork right there. I just don't feel like looking it up because I'm trying to do my show right now. So let's get back to prioritizing, guys. So as you prioritize, you're definitely going to take and want to look at everything that is going on. You want to look at every possibility. You want to look at how this is going to affect you in 2 days, how this is going to affect you in 5 months. You want to look at how something is going to affect you in a year. You know, guys, is this decision going to destroy me or is this decision going to make me? You got to worry about those things. A lot of people forget that you need a bank account. A lot of people forget that you need a bank card. You know, guys, I I choose not to have a bank card, and yes, it is difficult on me, but there are reasons why I choose not to have a bank card. I'll spend too much money. Where if I throw something into the bank, and sit back and let it build, I'm good. You know what I mean? But if I throw a full $300 into that bank account, I'm going to spend $300 because I'm a dingbat that way. I can't, I have trouble budgeting. So I have a system to make sure I budget properly, guys, and that's something you need to prioritize. Setting yourself up a system to be able to make sure your priorities stay in check. If it means writing yourself letters every day, sending yourself emails, or setting it up in the calendar on your phone. Guys, those are all simple little things you can do to remind yourself. Set alarms. I have alarms every morning to tell me when to take my meds. Every night to tell me when to take my meds. And I still forget them. It's true. I still forget them. But, that's a priority. I remember you, Envy. I remember you once. That's about it. And what's up, Amethyst? Welcome in. When does the live end? In about 45 minutes. So about that time. But anyway, so yeah, we have situations, where we have a lot of young folks that don't exactly know what they're doing when they come out of high school, and they're going on and they're trying to prioritize their life in college. Now, some of them do it right. Some of them were taught correctly. But then again, you've got those few whose parents just didn't do it right. They didn't teach them enough. They may have taught them a lot and they may have been great parents, but they may not have taught them enough, and they're going to run into problems. They're going to run into situations. And these situations can make or break them if they don't prioritize properly. I do believe that every school system in America should provide a budgeting and priorities classes. It should literally teach you how to prioritize your life after high school. It should literally teach you how to budget a book, how to take and sit down and budget a checkbook out. There's so many people that don't know how to do that nowadays because you can just look on your phone, get an alert and say, oh crap, I spent too much. Guys, no. This way you can sit there and you can keep up with absolutely everything that you spend. Guys, there's a reason why pen and paper was around for so long, guys. And I am literally going to sit here and say, and this is probably going to get me a little bit of hate, but I'm literally going to sit here and say that I wish we went back to pen and paper. And the reason being is because, guys, you can make paper out of hemp and it will literally never run out. You can constantly grow hemp. You can have hemp that literally grows in 3 months. So you can literally take and genetically alter this plant to grow faster so you can produce more paper, guys. And you ain't got to worry about cutting down trees, guys. And paper wouldn't be so bad anymore. It wouldn't be so expensive. But less and less people are doing that because they want to go to this paperless stuff. They want to go to digital, guys. And here's the problem I have with digital. I know a few hackers, guys. It ain't nothing for most people to hack into a website and steal your information. It ain't nothing for people to be able to take and just screw you over in every which way possible, with your information online. So you got to be really, really careful about that, especially in this digital age. That's a priority you need to figure out too. You need to prioritize how to work all this technology that we live off of now. You need to be able to master it, guys, because it's not just a necessity anymore. Now it's a have to have. It's a lifestyle. It's not a luxury. Everybody uses it. Even I do now. And I swore I never would. But here I am sitting on the internet talking to you guys, and yes, I know a couple of hackers, but they're programmers now. They were hackers for the U.S. military trying to hack into enemy transmissions and stuff like that. So, that's sorry to hear that somebody was injured. What do you want, Chuck? What is it, baby? What do you want, baby? Are you hungry? Well, you're going to wait. You're going to wait. Don't wait. You can't wait. Are you thirsty? You're hungry and you're thirsty? Okay. Guys, sorry Shuck's being a bit of a butt tonight, but I will return again. So give me just another couple minutes. I do apologize. All right. I hear you, fat boy. I hear you. Don't you knock this out of my hand. All right. There you are, Chef. Enjoy. All right, guys. Sorry about that. So, yeah, I do apologize about Shuck needing my care every now and then. But he is my dog. So, it's just the least I could do. My dog's name is Shuck. Oh, poor Holly. But anyway, guys, thank y'all so much for showing up. Please go check out Jen Holder at JenHolder976, guys. And let's pray for poor Holly. You know, she's passed on. But let's go on ahead and make sure that all dogs do go to heaven. All right, guys? So, anyway, back to prioritizing. And this is just going to be the last little bit, considering there wasn't much to talk about. It's pretty straightforward, guys. If it's important, put it first. You know, that is simply it. You know, guys, and when you get old, this is the unfortunate part. When you get old, that's when you can prioritize certain wants over needs. Because then you can take your time, guys. You know, if you need to fix your truck and you got 2 months to do it in, get yourself something. You know, splurge a little. But while you're young, guys, focus on priorities. Focus on what's important. You know, look to the future, not look to the present or president. Wow, don't look to the present. You know, guys, because if you look at the present and you only live in the present, then the future will elude you, guys. By the time you realize your future's here, it's gone. You know, so you've got to take and really think before you do any kind of action, guys. That's what prioritization is. You simply think, how is this going to affect my future? How is this going to help me? Is this going to be a good thing? Is this going to be a bad thing? Will this backfire? Can this fail? These are all things you got to ask yourself. But do realize that there are some times that, you know, if it's going to fail, don't worry, man. You're going to learn something. You know, you're going to, that way, you know, next time, hey, I didn't have my priorities straight. Let's do it again right. You know, guys, maybe you missed something. You know, it always helps to take a step back and look at what's actually going on around you and what's actually going on in your life. And then you can make decisions, guys, instead of just, oh, well, I'll do that, you know, guys. And then all of a sudden you turn around and you're like, oh, man, I shouldn't have done that. You know, don't be that guy. You know, don't sit there and spend $300 at the bar because you want to show off in front of the boys and a pretty girl and then turn around and realize, holy crap, that was my rent money. What am I going to do now? And now you got to go get a title loan on your car. That's just, no, that's not cool, because now you're going to be spending even more money to try to get yourself out the hole you put yourself in because you wanted to show off. So don't do that. Prioritize paying that bill first. Tell them, guys, I'd love to, but I got a $300 light bill. I can't do it. And you want to show off in front of that girl, do something stupid instead. Be like, here, hold my beer. Because if you hurt yourself, she might just either call you an idiot or walk up to you and ask if you're okay. It's a pretty good icebreaker. But, that's just the Texas thing. Hold my beer. That's the adult version of, Mom, look at this. Yeah. I've had a few hold my beer moments, which we'll get to later on. But to be honest, though, guys, prioritizing your life is as simple as this. To end it, and we can start to hang out, guys. Prioritizing your life is as simple as this. What is the most important? And that is simple. What is the most important? What is the next important? What is the next most important? And so on down the line. Write yourself out a list of everything you got to do every month, and add to that list as things come along. Guys, like we had to fix the truck. I want to make my knife, so these are all things we've prioritized, and it's working out rather well, but you got to do it, guys. You've got to take the time to want to do it. You got to have the discipline to do it. That's one thing that a lot of people don't have nowadays. We talked about that, actually. So you really got to look into these things. But other than that, guys, we're done with the preaching. Let's have the hangout session, shall we? And I do apologize for me walking away so much. It is wonderful that y'all love watching Shuck. He's a nutball. He really is. I do apologize for the state of my room, though. I haven't cleaned it today. In fact, I haven't got to clean it for 3 days because I've been busy. So I do apologize about that. That was lowest on the priority list. How come you don't drive? The state of Texas says I can't because of my epilepsy. Other states say I can. Texas says no way, Jose. We don't want you on our road. That, and I'm a schizophrenic. They don't want me on the road either for being schizophrenic. They don't want me to have a schizoactive episode while I'm on the road. And mine is functional type 10 or something like that, schizophrenia. It means you're functional, but you have problems. You have the voices, you have the visions. But you're functional. It means you know what's going on. There's over 100 types of schizophrenia, guys. There's over 30 types of epilepsy that I've researched. And both of my problems are actually caused by brain damage, from earlier incidences in life. And that's what we found out. A lot of concussions. Lots of concussions. 87 and counting. 87 and counting. That's why sometimes I come on here and I'm a little weird. Sometimes I come on here, I'm a little down. Sometimes I come on here and I'm a little happy. Sometimes I come on here and I'm enraged. It all depends on the personality. But I have 87 of them in here and counting. So I try to draw all of them down. I'm not very good at drawing people, but I've got the bad sides down almost. I just got to finish it out. There's a few more to do. Mine's only happy, sad, and Batman. Oh, man. I didn't expect the Batman at the end. Good one. I guess I could be Killer Croc. Oh, man. But anyway, guys, remember, if you're new here, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Come back and see us again sometime. Don't forget to check out my girl at the bottom of the page, at JenHolder976. She's a wonderful, wonderful person. What's up, Joyful? How you doing? Is my Jin still in here? I haven't seen her in a minute. But, so, you know, guys, we're going to be forging again tomorrow. Hopefully, we can get the blade stretched out. It's interesting learning about your mental health. It helps us relate. Yeah, actually, I don't mind answering any questions about it. It's just, it's really hard for me to answer a lot of them because I'm not real up to date on medical stuff. You know, guys, wildlife conservation, old history, blacksmithing, crafting, survival. Ask me any questions about something like that. But when it comes down to this mental health stuff and this epilepsy, it's all brand new to me. So, well, not really brand new, but it's news to me. And I have to actually work through it and research it. And I just haven't got it memorized because it's like a name like this long. But it's really awful. Yeah, you missed it there. Hey, my Jin. You did miss it there, Joyful. We were definitely, out there this afternoon, forging away. We were swinging away with the hammer. We're going to be doing it again tomorrow. We are close to being ready to finish out this Viking sax, to start stretching the blade out, guys. And that's the part I'm waiting on. That's when we finally get to see the knife take shape and become a blade, everybody. And I can't wait to show that to you guys. It's so much fun watching it happen. I have to watch replay. Oh, yeah. What's up, Phoenix? Thank you very much. How often do I get attacks? It all depends on my stress levels, guys. With me forging these past few days and being able to focus on my business, I haven't had so many attacks. And it's because this is something fun to me. If I'm not stressed out, I'm fine. But if I'm super stressed, or if things are just going wrong, or if I'm overly frustrated, or if I'm overheated, then I'll start having schizophrenic episodes. And I have them quite often, to be fair, about 2 or 3 times a month. I'll have them. But I try. Those are a lot of the times when I don't go live, or I don't post any videos or anything like that. Guys, I'm having an attack, and I'm having to fight through it. And that's a lot of the reasons why I have to tell you guys that, guys, I'm sorry. I didn't make it in. I have to get my physical done and go to a birthday party, Clint, but if you have another live tomorrow night, I'll try to be in. I'll have another live BMC. Do you ever get violent? Actually, I know you're not making fun of me, brother. That's a serious question, especially when it comes down to schizophrenics. I'm feeling great today, actually. Wandering William, I'm feeling actually really, really good. Thank you for coming in. But guys, when it comes down to my attacks, sometimes I can get angry enough to where I want to get violent, but I don't let myself. I will catch myself beforehand. I feel the anger coming on. So I come here in my room and I draw or I write. And that gets it out. Or I go out to the forge and I take my anger out on a piece of steel. Guys. So that's how I've been able to get my stuff together and to be able to take care of myself in such a way to where I'm a functional schizophrenic. I have found little tricks, little teeny tiny things here that are outlets that help me anytime something comes on. And I've memorized what it feels like. There's a few personalities that I just don't worry about, because if they come out, there's no problems. There's one that I call my Mad Mardigan side. And he's goofy, he's silly, he's fun. He's the guy that makes you guys laugh all the time. That's Mad Mardigan. But and then I have Uncle Jack. He's my real serious side. They have names. The worst one is Vermilion, which is who the Black Soul is based around. That's the one where I try to get violent. But the one that haunts me the worst is the Heartbroken. And he is the one that when I see him or when he comes on, I have problems struggling with wanting to unend myself I have problems with struggling with wanting to just give up, just curl up and die. I have to deal with that, guys. And I have to deal with it on a regular basis, and the worst part about it is the dreams. The dreams that come with being a schizophrenic are just, whew. I'm more violent against myself than I am anything. So does that answer your question? Oh, wow. Please go into more detail about your different personalities. Oh, okay. Well, my biggest problem one is Trios. Trios is, I call him the Wrathful Destroyer, because that's all he wants to do is just wreck shop. He just wants to beat the snot out of everything around him. And, man, guys, I can't live that hateful. So I try to keep him locked away. Then, of course, we have Vulcan the Oppressive, which at that point, whenever Vulcan shows up, I literally just kind of feel like, I'm under somebody's control. Like somebody else has the reins, and I'm just sitting there dealing with it, guys. And it's a hard thing to deal with, because at that point, my body's on autopilot, but I know what's going on, and I'm trapped in my own head, and I can't do anything to stop my body from what it's doing. But I can see everything, and I know what's happening. So that's one of my biggest issues there is Vulcan the Oppressive. Vulcan, however you want to say it. And then there's Shayak, which is all about gluttony and greed, which I try not to be greedy. I do my best not to be greedy about things, and I definitely do my best to not be gluttonous about things, because I don't want to get fat again. I'm starting to lose this. I don't want to get it back, get rid of that spare tire, But no problem there, Castrated. But anyhow, you've got incidences like with a lot of the voidlings. There's certain voidlings that will bother me. It's not necessarily a personality, but every time I see what I call a mind razor, which is this guy right here, you pull him out. Oh, where's he at? Not there. Oh, and guys, don't forget, this Sunday, Black and Hills reading. There he is. I think that's him. Yeah. Every time I have a migraine, guys, I'll be trapped within my own mind. It's like I'm seeing inside my skull, and I'll see this guy chewing on my brain the entire time, poking it in everywhere that hurts, and using his horrible little claws and spines to just make my head hurt as bad as it can, because it literally feels like my head's splitting open. This is called a mind razor. And I don't like seeing him, because anytime I get a migraine, I see him. Voidlings are what I call the bad things that I see. Exteriors is what I call the good things. Because, well, I say I call them. They told me that that's what they're called. Yes, I talked to them. Before I had friends, those were the only ones I had to talk to, or the voidlings and the exteriors. Yes, I fight the voidlings inside my head. The way I do it is with my other personalities. I have taken and created a tabletop RPG game called The Realms of Exterior, and I turned the voidlings and all of my bad personalities into villains. And anytime they start messing with me, I go to my dad, my stepmom, and we play my game. And when we do, we beat my villain. And when we beat my problem, I beat it in real life. So it's a therapy for me. I never thought something like Dungeons and Dragons could actually work to help somebody with schizophrenia, but it helps me out a lot. And when I showed you that picture of that creature that I called a mind razor, that's a voidling. Interesting. Did you have like regular conversations with them? Yes, I thought that they were sitting there. I literally thought they were beside me. You know, don't, there's very few that I didn't, which was like the voidlings mostly don't speak. You know, if they do speak, it's these horrible mixture of agonizing voices all screaming at once, and it's inaudible. You know, it's literally like listening to the sounds of Niflheim or hell. You know, it's just a horrible place. And you don't want to hear them whenever they speak. Trust me. Because what you can hear that's audible, gnarly. That's all I got to say. That's just awful. What's up, Kurt? Entertainment and hyper over hunger for sweets. Oh, I got you. I got you, Phoenix. I like the last word in your sentence. Well, anyway, guys, most of the time, though, it's me. This is who I am. This is the guy you see is me in complete control. You know, there are times I have come on live and I've been like, guys, I'm not doing good. I need help, you know, and I need you guys to calm me down because my dad and my stepmom's asleep. So I need somebody there to watch and take care of me. And a voidling BMC is something that I see. I call them voidlings because they look horrible, and they told me that they're called the voidlings. They say they come from the void. And so I call them voidlings. And, you know, they are these creatures that I see that are these horrible monsters that speak in terrible ways and try to get me to do horrible things. They're the bad side of my schizophrenia. You know, whereas an Exterion is the good side of my schizophrenia. So that's a voidling, man. Nothing you want to run into. I have a lot of pictures of them. I've drawn quite a few of the voidlings. And, you know, and I'm sorry, BMC, that I thought I was answering your question every time. Do they speak in English or their own language? Exterions speak their own language, which is really, really hard to copy because human voices are not meant to do it. Because it sounds like a mixture between animal noises and a language of some kind. However, I have seen the runes that they use, you know, quite often all over their clothing. And sometimes whenever they would sit there and they would show me like pictures or something that they had on them, because they're sitting there saying that this is wisdom. And it's okay, I didn't understand. You're all good. What's up, Xavier? We were talking about my schizophrenia and what it's like to have it. You know, guys, the worst part about it is just not being able to control yourself. A voidling for him is a pest that plagues his mind. More than just a pest, brother. You see, the voidlings tell me they want my soul. They don't want it, you know, alive. They want the destroyed soul from my body. And that's what they feed off of, is destroyed souls. They break you, and then they feed off of that. And they are a horrible, horrible race of things that I've seen ever since I was little. And I say race because they seem so real to me that it's almost impossible to not believe in them. Can you try to vocalize the language as best of your ability? It's just that's the best I could do. Oh yeah. How do you control your anger when you're angry? I go forge. I go beat the crap out of a piece of metal. Or I go beat the crap out of a tree stump I got outside that's still in the ground. I'll take Troll's Bane and I'll beat the snot out of that tree stump. And that's how I get my anger out. And that's what controls it. And yes, guys, I'm going to show y'all some pictures here of some of my personalities that I have, or some of the things that I see. Here's one personality. That's the heartbroken I talked about earlier. So yeah, that's the heartbroken I spoke of earlier. That's one of my worst personality sides. That's why I'm putting them in my book. They actually sound neat. How do you control you take over your personality? Oh yeah. Oh, I know you still want the pic, man. I still got you to send me a email, bro. you gotta let me have your email, and man, I need that email, and I'll send it to you. So that way I can get your address so I can send it to you. Yeah, he's gnarly. He's just the worst thing I could see. This is what I see just before having a seizure. If I start seeing this guy, I know I'm about to be in a lot of pain. I call this guy a soul thief. It's another voidling. Just another problem that I see. Every time I think about when I lost my kids, I see this guy. I call him a child seeker. Get a closer look at that face. Now, when he speaks, he just sounds like a bunch of children screaming in agony all at once. And it breaks my heart. It scares the hell out of me. He does, for sure. And of course, Marty, my fun-loving side. This is Voidling Hunter. This is whenever I'm trying to run from my personalities, from the voidlings in my head, this is what chases me down in my own mind. This is what hunts me in my own brain. So that's just a few. Thank you for loving the artwork. No, they're not missing. I'm asking, can you teach me? Phoenix, can I teach you? Oh, can I teach you how to control? That's what I'm saying. The best way I learned was through years of practicing how to truly meditate, how to properly clear your head, and how to figure out my triggers. So that way I can take and know what I got to do to calm myself down. And you got to find outlets to be able to let the anger out and everything. I know you're a huge fan, man. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Yeah, Phoenix, your best bet. It took me therapy before I could figure this out. It took me years of therapy before I could figure this out. I've been in therapy for 4 years, 5 years now. And in those 4 or 5 years, I was practicing constantly on how to completely clear my head, no matter what goes on. And that's a really hard thing to do. It's definitely not easy. But oh, by the way, Xavier, my mom has some picture frames, so I'm gonna see if there's one that fits that photograph that I drew for you. Hello, Jessica, how you doing? And I'm going to try to take and have it framed, and then once I get your address and your email and everything like that, we can set up a payment plan and everything. But yeah, welcome into the family for sure, Jessica. I was just showing them some of my artwork from my visions as a schizophrenic. Yeah, so that's what we're waiting on there, Xavier, is for me to actually frame it for you, and then we can send it in, but yeah, guys, if you're new here, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, come on in. We got another 10 minutes left. I actually have to run to the restroom, so I'll be right back. You guys chill amongst yourselves for a little bit. Jin, if you're still here, you got the floor, baby. Let me see what all I'm grabbing. I've got to go to the bathroom, so I have got to. right, guys, I'm back. Shut, you knocked your bed over. How did you pull that off? Alrighty, guys. I have returned. Hello, Diego. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yes, I am from Southeast Texas. Alpine, Texas. Yes, that's a beautiful area. I've been to Alpine once, but I live in Southeast Texas, close to Louisiana. So we've got a lot of big green forests out here that are hard to see through. You might be able to see 10 feet, and that might be it. It's almost like a jungle out here, but it's a temperate forest. Technically, it's a temperate rainforest. Did you check out the Marfa lights? I did not check out the Marfa lights. I have not. Guys, honestly, I'm still trying to take and just do a bunch of other stuff involving my charity, guys, because I'm trying to get that set up and established, you know, so that we can actually go on ahead and take and start donating to the Friends of Village Creek, guys. Because to this weekend on Clint's Critter Chats, I'm going to put up my Cash App. And guys, if y'all want to donate, y'all are more than welcome to. But just realize that all that money is not going to me. All that money is going to be going to my charity, guys. So it's going to be going to the Friends of Village Creek. And I would like to get at least a couple $100, if not more, maybe even $500, saved up before I speak with these people. So that way, at the very least, we can donate in the name of the Knights of the Holy Rose Sanctum to our first charitable cause. Bark, bark, bark. There is a rock. Friends of Village Creek is the state park in Lumberton. Yes, that is a state park in Lumberton. Yes, it is castrated. And my uncle, Jay Werner, is the one who founded Friends of Village Creek. So he's offering to let me be their advertiser. You know, so I'll get $10 a video, and that's why I'm saying whatever money comes from you guys, from donations, it all goes straight to Friends of Village Creek. I get none of it, guys, because I make my money off the video. I just got done walking my aunt's dog, and oh my God, that dog is so dang strong. I got you, Rock. Yeah, I know. My uncle he's a real big member of the community. A lot of my family members are police officers, sheriffs, veterans. So they're all high society members or middle class, and they're all real big on participating in the community, guys. And my uncle, you know, Jay Werner, loves Village Creek. He grew up on it just like I did, just like my dad did, just like our parents did. He grew up or just like their parents did. All of us grew up on Village Creek. It's like what this whole town revolves around, because it's not just in Lumberton. It stretches through Kuntz, goes all the way into my hometown of Warren. Village Creek is huge. And, you know, it's an amazing, amazing place. Yeah. No, and it's got so much diversity. You know, it connects to the Mississippi River at one point. I just don't know where. He sounds tasty. He's old. He might be a little bit like jerky. Some dry-aged beef. Might give you high cholesterol. But Uncle Jay's pretty cool, you know, guys. And what he's done to try to help take care of our wildlife so that our kids can have somewhere to grow up and run through, just like we did. I have some disposable income, would love to help the state park out. All right, man, go to Cash App, capital K, Knights Sanctum. That's all there is to it. You know, it's just a capital K with the word Knights Sanctum attached to it. Let me see if I can. Nope, that's not it. That was not it. That's highlights. I hate the highlight thing. Oh, nope. Wrong button. Nope, can't do it here. Here, let me put it in a poll. Let me see here. There we go, guys. We threw up a poll. So that way you guys know exactly how to donate if y'all wish to. You know, we're going to start doing that from now on. We're going to throw up a quick little poll, see if you wish to donate. And if that's the case, go right on ahead, guys. None of this money goes to me. I will repeat that. None of this money goes to me. It all goes to Village Creek. You know, guys, I got all the money I need. And I'm about to be making more as soon as I can get this business up off the ground. I'm going to eat your subject. No problem, Castrated. Thank you so much for wishing to donate. You know, guys, there are so many things that I want to be able to do to take care of so many different things. You know, guys, and we're going to be taking and splitting up the income once we get all 12 chapters established. But for right now, guys, just the Emerald chapter is the only one that's open currently. Oh, what's wrong, subject? Oh, I did not know that. I did not know they used to call it Valley Magic. Uh-oh! Run, rocks on the chewy path. He can't say the war path. She hungry. Run, subject, run. Yeah, how is your chest feeling, subject? Are you getting better? You know, because that was a worry of mine. I'm still worried about my friend Ian. He hadn't showed up for a very, very long time. And I'm glad you feel a lot better. You got Nom. She's going to eat your sickness. But, guys, we're at the last 2 minutes. So I would like to say thank you all so much for coming in here. And you guys are absolutely amazing. We got 17 likes up there. Would have liked to have seen 20. But you know what, guys? I'm just too tired. I don't feel like going on any further. I did a lot of blacksmithing and a lot of working on a truck today. I've been all kinds of sweaty and nasty. I'm ready to relax. So thank you all so much. As you all know, y'all are the backbone of YouTube, the very lifeblood and essence of every channel creator. So you guys, y'all deserve more love than what y'all get. And the credit of these channels being successful doesn't need to go to us. The channels being successful goes to you as the viewers for enjoying our content. So thank you so much for showing up, and thank you so much for being the amazing people you are. All right, guys. So next thing I got to say, and that is simply just this. Never forget these words. All right? A cowardice man will die in his home. A brave man will die in the fields. And what that means, guys, is you need to prioritize. You need to prioritize, guys. So it's a simple proverb. It means that if you stay in your home and you're too cowardly to try to do anything and you don't want to take a chance, nothing will ever change. But if you're brave and you go out in the battlefield, you'll always be remembered. And guys, the modern world right now is a battlefield. It is no joke. It is rough. So take care of yourselves, guys. So remember, see you from the swamp, later from a gator. Love your mama, love your papa, love yourself, be kind, and always find a way to help everybody. I can email you that you did, in fact, donate $200. I will definitely email you that. You can find me at this email address. Let me write it down where you can actually see. So give me just a second. I need to find something that I can write it with and you can see. What I got? Into the storage I go. Hello, fires. How are y'all? All right. So, unfortunate news. Cannot find a pen or a marker. So I'm just going to spell it out for you, man. So castrated, get ready. Here we go, all right? EXTYRANCREATOR 1987 at gmail.com. Do you need me to repeat that for you? EXTYRANCREATOR 1987 at gmail.com. 21 likes. Yeah, I know. All right, good. You got it, man. There you go. All right, guys. See from a swamp, later from a gator. All right, y'all know the spiel. So catch you all next time. Goodbye.